Today we have travelled down near Southampton to AMufacture. Craig, this recent purchase that you've made of an MJF from Matsuura has transformed your business. How?
It absolutely has. Well, we realised that about 60 or 70% of our parts that we were producing were made using this process, and we realised that when we were going to buy this printer, we had to go to the very, very top of the range, and that's the HP 5210.
And you've got an impressive part that you showed me earlier that you've made on this machine.
We have, and this is for a very interesting client in the sewage space. And we had a very challenging brief from them, which is they had to make something that initially was being made of metal. It took 60 hours to produce. We were able to produce that in far, far shorter lead time, actually at a much reduced cost, and even better, was considerably lighter than they're offering. And the client was absolutely bowled over, delighted, and we think it could be transformative for the industry for these kind of parts.
So what other varieties of printing are you making here?
Well, we offer FDM, we have SLS, we have SLA, but it was just more about this, the fact that most of the parts that we've been asked to produce were of this certain process, and the fact is that they make the best parts from mechanical properties, speed, but also price.
See, a lot of our industry is subtractive manufacturing, but you're really kind of dipping your toe into this area, aren't you?
Well, this is actually really where it all begins, or this is, should we say, the future of manufacturing. I know your listeners may not like that, but it's the future of manufacturing, because additive means that we don't have to be restricted by tooling, we don't have to be restricted by any long lead times, and the beauty is that from our printer, if we had 100 parts going in of a certain size, all of those 100 could be different, and we pull them out a day or so later, and the clients have exactly what they want, custom made. Frankly, it is mass customization finally.
It really is. And, you know, when you talk about mass production, shall we say, it's got that flexibility to it. But can it work alongside subtractive manufacturing and machining as well?
Oh, absolutely. And we found with some clients who are looking for 10 or 20 or 50,000 of the same part, they may be going for an injection molding or CNC large production model. But in the meantime, while they're waiting for the 12 or 16 weeks for those parts to come through or the tooling to come through, in the meantime, we can meet their demand using our process, which obviously satisfies what they require. And in the meantime as well, and actually even more interestingly, sometimes they have ideas of how they'd like to produce their parts long term, but in the very short term, what we can do is we can give them not one or two parts for them to explore, but maybe 10, 15 different examples so that they can ultimately decide on the very best solution for them at that point to invest in, knowing they've got it right.
And alongside all of these benefits is time. Time is of the essence.
Yep.
You're telling me that you can produce parts and a couple of days later, they can then be out in the industry used.
Absolutely, 100%. And this is the thing, we can start almost instantaneously. And also the ideas of when you're cycling production, you're thinking about, well, I'll have another range in a year's time or maybe in 18 months' time. Your engineers can think far sooner or far quicker to actually deliver those solutions on time for the client and actually make suggestions internally that can transform a business.
Right, okay, so I'm a company, I'm interested in this area, this topic. This is quite a unique and new technology. You went to Matsuura. What have they done for you?
They've been absolutely fantastic. When we realised, and this has really been client-led, our client wanted a solution with this type of product that only the MJF could produce. And when we went to them, they were just fantastic. They delivered us from the very, very first sales call to the demonstrations, to the sample parts, all the way through to delivery and installation. We really couldn't fault them. They were fantastic.
And what does the future hold for you as a company with this machine? What's your goal?
Our goal is, and Matsuura probably like this, is we'd like to have a second machine and a third machine, and then maybe go to another facility as well. That's really where we'd love to be.
Oh, good luck to you.
Thank you.